After the volcano at Jurassic World Park on Isla Nublar Island erupted, the surviving dinosaurs were brought to land, and live side by side with humans. To maintain the preservation of dinosaurs, and for pharmaceutical purposes, the government entrusts a company called Biosyngenetic which stores many species of dinosaurs in a nature reserve located in the mountains of Italy. The company is led by Lewis Dodson. There are rumors of the disappearance of a girl named Maisie Lockwood, who was the first human clone of Dr. Charlotte Lockwood, and granddaughter of Benjamin Lockwood, founder of Jurassic World. One night, Claire Deering, former operational manager of Jurassic World, and her friends broke into an illegal captive facility in Nevada. They took one of the Nasutoceratops babies for release. As they were about to leave, the facility guard caught them. They got away. Claire's friend, Franklin Webb, reveals that he can't join anymore, because Franklin already has a better job, namely being an intelligence operator. In the house in the middle of the forest, there is a girl named Maisie. Maisie then went into the countryside to see a dreadnoughtus who had strayed into a logging area. At home, Claire was waiting for Maisie and Owen to come home. The three of them live in the house. Owen and Claire became Maisie's parents who deliberately lived in the middle of the forest to hide Maisie. They forbade Maisie to travel too far. It turns out that Velociraptor Blue also lives not far from there, and he already has a child named Beta. Blue teaches Beta to hunt. Evenings while relaxing, Owen forbade Maisie to travel too far and meet strangers. Maisie, however, felt tired of being constantly restrained in her life. Maisie felt she could take care of herself. Maisie wanted to know who she really was, and who Charlotte Lockwood was. In Texas, two young children were surprised by the appearance of a swarm of giant locusts in a wheat field. The two children took refuge in the barn, and caught a locust. Then a paleobotanist named Ellie Sattler came to the site. It appears that the locust attacked and ate all the wheat plants in that place, while the neighboring wheat plants were not attacked at all. It turned out that their neighbor used seeds from Biosyn. To solve this problem, Ellie meets an old friend who is in Utah. In Utah, renowned paleontologist Dr. Alan Grant is digging up dinosaur fossils. Ellie is very happy to be reunited with her old friend. Ellie explained about the locust attack in Texas, and pointed out the locusts that had been caught. They were worried that if the giant locusts spread everywhere, it could damage the food chain. They suspect this incident was intentional by Biosyn, because only the wheat seeds from Biosyn were not attacked by the locusts. Ellie invites Alan to the Biosyn Nature Reserve to collect the locust DNA there, and it just so happens that Ellie gets an invitation from Dr. Ian Malcolm who now works for Biosyn. At the house in the middle of the forest, Maisie is approached by Beta. Then Maisie gave Beta a treat. It was Maisie who gave the name Beta to Blue's child. Then Blue came and seemed to feel threatened, but Owen immediately came to relieve Blue. After Blue and Beta left, Owen asked Maisie to enter the house, while he would follow where Blue went. Upset that Owen didn't take her with him, Maisie goes on a bike ride to the countryside. Owen sees a group of criminals capture Beta, and throw Blue into the ravine. Owen immediately chased after the criminals. But Maisie, who was crossing the bridge, was also kidnapped by a group of criminals led by Rain Delacourt. Owen saw the incident, and immediately returned to the house to meet Claire to chase the criminals. Suddenly Blue appears in a rage, and Owen promises that he will bring Beta back. They meet someone who can help them, namely Franklin, who is now working at the CIA. Franklin helps them find information about Rain, and directs them to ask for help from Franklin's co-worker, Barry Sempen, who is in Malta. In Italy, Alan and Ellie are greeted by Biosyn's head of communications named Ramsey Cole. Ramsey took them to the Biosyn Nature Reserve by helicopter. They were introduced to Lewis. Then Ramsey took them to meet Ian. The three of them were happy to see each other again after such a long time. Ian took Alan and Ellie to buy coffee where the machine made a lot of noise. That's when Ian told Ellie about the giant locusts, which is indeed Biosyn's evil scheme. Ian gives Ellie the key to access the locust research room and asks Ellie to take a sample of their DNA. A geneticist named Dr. Henry Wu, now forced to work for Biosyn, expresses regret for having created a species of locust with the aim of attacking rival plants. Henry said that he wanted to exterminate the locusts, but of course Lewis refused, saying that this problem could be solved once Maisie arrived. Turns out it was Lewis who hired criminals to catch Maisie and Beta. In Malta, Soyana Santos tells Lewis that Maisie and Beta have just arrived at the Maltese airport. Maisie boarded a private jet, while Beta boarded a cargo plane belonging to Cale Watt. Owen and Claire also arrive in the city of Malta. The two meet up with Barry, and they visit a dinosaur black market. There Claire met Kayla. Claire realizes that Kayla is American, and Claire asks Kayla while showing her a photo of her daughter being kidnapped by criminals. Kayla pretends not to know, because she doesn't want anything to do with criminals. In another room, Owen and Barry observe Soyona and Rain, who are trading velociraptors used as a reliable killer, by targeting opponents with laser pointers. Suddenly Intel raided the transaction. Owen and Barry also went after Rain. The situation got even more chaotic because several carnivorous dinosaurs accidentally escaped. Owen fights Rain, and manages to beat Rain. When Owen asked where Maisie was, Rain only mentioned the name Soyona, before finally Rain was attacked by a carnivorous dinosaur. Feeling cornered, Soyona opens 4 of the velociraptor's cages, and targets the intelligence agents to kill, including Barry. Claire chases and fights with Soyona to ask where Maisie is. Soyona replies that her men are taking Maisie to Biosyn. When Claire is off guard, Soyona aims a laser at Claire, resulting in the raptor chasing Claire. In the midst of her escape, Claire fell in a pickup truck, which was then helped by Kayla to Kayla's plane. Owen helps Barry, who is being chased by raptors. Then Barry catches Soyona, and Owen rides a motorbike towards Claire. Soyona secretly aims a laser at Owen, causing him to be chased by 2 raptors. At Biosyn, Henry explains that Maisie is Charlotte's real biological daughter. Henry shows the video when Charlotte was pregnant with Maisie. At that time, Charlotte made Maisie's DNA from her own DNA. Because Charlotte has a genetic disease, it is predicted that she will die when Maisie is 1 year old. Then Charlotte learns more about Maisie, and manages to change Maisie's DNA to make her more immune than Charlotte. This is what makes Maisie so valuable to Biosyn. Henry also wants to learn more about Maisie's DNA, which he believes could create a pathogen to stop a locust plague. Blue was created just like Charlotte, who could produce her own child. That's why Biosyn also kidnapped Beta for research. Ramsey gave Alan and Ellie a chance to look around the facilities at the Biosyn. This was used by them to enter the locust detention room, and take a locust DNA sample. At the same time, Maisie deliberately released Beta and fled with her. Lewis instantly set off a warning alarm that sent locusts flying. Alan and Ellie immediately came out of the room, and met Maisie, who already knew each other. Ellie tells Maisie that she doesn't work for Biosyn, so Maisie immediately joins them and goes to find a way out. While looking for a way out, they meet Ramsey, who turns out to support their efforts to reveal the badness of Biosyn, because previously Ramsey also thought that Biosyn work was unethical. Ramsey also helps them escape to safety using a pod, a Hyperloop capsule vehicle. Owen, Claire, and Kayla began to enter the Biosyn area. A group of Quetzalcoatlus appeared and attacked Kayla's plane. Claire got out of the plane using a parachute, because it was the only parachute on Kayla's plane. However, her parachute was attacked by a flock of Quetzalcoatlus, who tore her parachute and fell into the trees. Upon awakening from fainting, Claire was startled by the presence of Theriziosaurus. Claire tried to sneak into the water pool, so that the Theriziosaurus would not know where Claire was. Owen and Kayla's plane crashes into an icy lake. They carefully walked over the surface of the ice so as not to break. But at the same time, a Pyroraptor appeared who wanted to eat them. After escaping, they return to the forest to find Claire. They find Claire's parachute, but Claire isn't there. Instead they encounter a T-Rex and a Giganotosaurus fighting over a deer carcass. Owen and Kayla finally found Claire, who was scared, because she was about to be attacked by Dilophosaurus. Lewis learns that Ian is helping the intruder retrieve a locust DNA sample, and escapes using the pod. Then Lewis deliberately shut down the pod. Ellie, Alan, and Maisie stopped in the middle of a cave, and started to walk through it, which was filled with Dimetrodons. Lewis fires Ian for being caught giving the access key to the locust containment room to an intruder. Ian reveals to Lewis' men that Lewis doesn't really care about the extinction of the dinosaurs, and just exploits everything for his own gain. Lewis asked Ramsey to accompany Ian to the plane, but Ramsey instead helped Ian catch up with his colleagues. Ian manages to find his colleagues, but doesn't know the passcode to open the gate. Ramsey, observing from the control room, managed to help them free. Lewis tried to destroy the evidence by burning the locusts. The burning locusts then flew into the open area, and set fire to the forest area around the biosyn. Ian and his colleagues who fled by car, fell into a ravine due to the fall of the fire locust. But it turns out that under the ravine, they meet Owen, Claire, and Kayla. Maisie was very happy to see her parents, looking for Maisie to the biosyn. Claire thanks Ellie for helping save Maisie. Suddenly Giganotosaurus came and prepared to attack them. They decided to climb up the building to take cover. The biosyn forest is burning due to locusts. This caused the biosyn employees to start being evacuated, and they ran away from the place. Lewis also prepared to leave using a pod. Lewis invited Ramsey, but Ramsey refused. Owen and his colleagues planned to leave the place using biosyn's helicopter, which is in the main complex. They headed to the main complex using the underground passage. Ramsey joined them in the main control room. Ramsey said that if they want to use a helicopter, they need a lot of energy to activate ADS, namely the air deterrence system against Quetzalcoatlus. Claire and Ellie are tasked with shutting down the main system, which also causes Lewis's pod to crash. Lewis tries to escape into the tunnels, but he is killed by the poison of the Dilophosaurus. Kayla is in charge of retrieving the helicopter. Owen, Alan, and Maisie search for Beta to bring her back to her mother. Henry appears in front of them, and says that he can change the locust's DNA to stop it from spreading. They finally agreed to take Henry along. As they headed for the helicopter, suddenly two sworn enemies appeared, namely T-Rex and Giganotosaurus, who attacked and bit each other. When the T-Rex fell unconscious, Kayla fires a flare to distract the Giganotosaurus. It turned out that Therizinosaurus appeared, which also hated Giganotosaurus. Owen and his colleagues took the opportunity to get into the helicopter and leave the place. Suddenly the T-Rex came to his senses, and pushed the Giganotosaurus into the Therizinosaurus' sharp claws. Owen and his colleagues were all finally safe in a safe place. Some time later, Ramsey, Ellie, Alan, and Ian head to Washington, D.C. to testify against biosyn. Henry manages to stop the locusts from spreading. Owen, Claire, and Maisie return home, and reunite Beta with Blue. The end. We recommend you watch this film in full. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video.